Hey, I'm Jazz. This is WMVSTV, and today we're thinking about the choice. This is always going to come down to it. It's always going to be down to choice. When I was a teenager, I've been in and out of foster care, different foster homes. Sent back home, taken away again, regardless. There's a couple of things that I had decided, and one of them was that even though my parents, in my case, were the ones who were hurting me, it was my fault and I was wrong. That's why I was taken away, and the way I saw it, punished, because I was taken away from the school where I went that I loved. And the second thing was that people only care about you when they're paid to. That people are only bothered about you because it's their job. Like teachers only care Monday to Friday during term time. Like the weekend, they don't care. They don't think about you. They're not bothered about you. Past 3 o'clock, you're just a burden. And that feeling wasn't something that I made up. That feeling was something that I experienced, very real. Because by the time I would start a new school, I already had a bit of a rep, and then I found it hard to connect with people and regulate my emotions, so I would just kick off sooner or later. Because the smallest thing would happen, but to me it would feel huge, like the straw that broke the camel's back. So someone would ask me to do something simple, like put your bag down, and I'd erupt, because it's just the last in a long line of things that have piled up inside me, and I'm at the point where it's like, I'm going to break. I am going to break. On my last nerve. I was a donkey on the edge, to quote Shrek. And often I saw a look of like disappointment in the eyes of people, you know, teachers and my foster carers and social workers, and people saying, you know, why are you doing this to yourself? You're sabotaging yourself. And I remember thinking, what is that? I don't know how to do anything else other than feel like this. How do I do anything else? I don't know what else to think. I don't know how to think something else other than think this. But I felt like what I got all the time was, this is what's best for you, rather than... I felt like people wanted to give me a good talking to, and actually what I needed was a good listening to. And part of the problem was that like, people are busy, yeah, and people have a job that they're paid to do and they want to do their best, but they don't know your experience. They don't know the ins and outs. Even if they've known you for a long time, they don't know what it is to be you. So they can't always like connect with you in a way that you need. And sometimes you've got to give people a bit of grace because they are trying their best. They're trying their best. Also, the barrier was me. I actually liked, I felt comfortable feeling that I wasn't good enough. It felt like a warm, furry coat that fit me well because it had been part of my life for so long. It was easier to believe that than it was to believe that I might be more, that I might be worth something, that people might like genuinely have an interest in me doing well. It kind of came to a head when I was doing GCSEs and A-levels, when I did A-levels as well. There was very much people telling me, look, this is what you need, this is what you should be doing, this is what you study, do it. And all I could think of is, you don't need history GCSE to go on the rob. And that's what everyone I know does. So why am I putting myself through this? Because it was hard, you know. And all I can think of all the time is like, I'm only worth something if I get these grades. If I don't get these grades, none of these people think I'm worth anything. The system doesn't think I'm worth anything. The society, the world doesn't think I'm worth anything. It's soul destroying. My nan used to say to me, when there's a disaster, when there's like an earthquake or, you know, mass shooting, look for the helpers. The worst that people can do to each other. Within that, there will always be people who often have got nothing to do with the situation coming to help, lifting rubble, trying to find people trapped in the you know, barrage of the concrete that's fallen, or giving their own, the coat off their back, or standing with people, just soothing them. There's always helpers. But a helper isn't necessarily trained, you know, they don't know your life. They might be the most unlikely person doing the job, but the one thing that they've got in common is they care. They might be clumsy about it. They might express their care in, you know, revise, which is a bit, yeah, my life's falling apart, so, you know, revise just feels like more crap on top of the crap I've already got. But they are doing the best they can. What I'd invite you to do, what I wish I'd been able to do, was to identify the people who won't seem to give up, and to assume the best of them. It's so hard. It feels so counterintuitive to assume the best of people who it feels like they're plotting your downfall. People are doing their best. So who is on your back right now? Who's ragging you? Who's nagging you? Who doesn't understand what you're going through and is asking impossible things? Whoever they are, what if they were doing their best? What if they genuinely do want the best for you? You can go find them. You could say, I know you want the best for me. This is what I'm struggling with at the moment. I know you want the best for me, but it's kind of, you're talking about this and I'm struggling with this. You know, I'm navigating this, I'm coping with this, and it feels like the two are very different. It shouldn't be on you, and it's not your fault. It is your responsibility though, how you show up, whose story you decide to tell, whose rubbish, whose lies you decide to carry. That's all your choice. So choose wisely.